It seems that there is a cause to be optimistic across the region in spite of the tighter monetary policy, in spite of the fact, and we've seen FDI inflows coming in. With one exception, though, there's a lot of question marks that have been raised over Thailand, and analysts, even in Bangkok, have started to ask about whether or not the political uncertainties, based on the number of court cases, based on the ongoing rift between the BOT and the government, is starting to weigh on sentiment there. What is your outlook, at least, for Thailand? Are they primed for recovery, or will the hamstringing factors, for lack of a better term, continue to perhaps raise a question mark over their recovery this year?
Yeah, Thailand is definitely one to watch out for. It is in an interesting growth stage in the sense that it has reached that middle income stage and is moving up the value chains in terms of manufacturing. There's a different role for the economy to play in the global supply chains now, something that we are watching out for, and whether that transition happens over the course of the next few years. If we look at the recent growth outlook for Thailand, we saw that the first quarter growth performance was relatively weak on the back of lower public spending. The budget wasn't yet passed and has been passed now, so we expect a pickup in the public spending outlook for the rest of the year. We think growth will be supported by strong tourism, which is an important narrative in Thailand. The manufacturing sector has been under pressure over recent months. We think that will come into the picture, but more gradually over the course of the next couple of years.
Right. You bring up the fact that they're a middle-income country, but one thing that many have highlighted in the last decade or so is the fact that Thailand's also caught in a middle-income trap. GDP per capita not exactly very high. You have growth rates that are closer, even lower than that of developed countries. And there's also a lot of calls from a lot of economies that Thailand is in need of structural reforms. Do you think that there is a need for an overhaul of how the Thai economy operates and works in order for them to escape this possible middle-income trap, if it is indeed a middle-income trap they're in?
Yeah, so Thailand faces a number of challenges. I think the key one to highlight is demographics, where the population is now starting to age, and that is weighing on productivity growth in the economy. We're seeing wage growth slow down a little bit. It's led to very low inflation rates in the economy. I don't think an overhaul of the economic landscape is necessary. I think just gradual reforms, looking at the competitiveness of the manufacturing space and seeing how we can value add in the tourism space, and enable the labor force to tap into technology. All of these factors should be sufficient to boost the growth narrative in Thailand.
Okay, just quickly, the outlook on inflation indeed is improving. And again, I want to point out one possible weak spot, and that is the Philippines. Is inflation indeed improving in this country where they're finding it very hard to tame food prices?
Yeah, we are seeing food inflation pretty high in a couple of economies in the region, of course, Philippines being one of them. I think all economies, including the Philippines, have been helped by relatively stable oil prices globally, oil and energy prices. So that has been a supportive factor. For the Philippines, for the rest of the year, we do not expect inflation to accelerate. We think that the core inflation side of the inflation basket will manage to keep the overall price levels manageable. Monetary policy still remains relatively tight, and we think that that's likely to ease only once global interest rates start to come down.